All right, it's time to peel the corner guard and hurry hard into this next interview because, my friends, we're honored that we have curling royalty here in our Your Morning studio this morning. Jennifer Jones is a bona fide rock star, if you will, having earned basically every accolade there is in curling. Two-time Olympian, including being a gold medalist, 6 national titles, 2 world championships, 17 Grand Slam victories. The list goes on. She's also a lawyer and an author. We're really honored to be joined by her to talk about her new memoir, Rockstar: My Life on and Off the Ice. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me. Super excited to be here.
Oh, I love curling. I was telling you right before we rolled, I'm terrible at it, but I've been watching you for years, and I want to get into the stories in the book. And, you know, you go from starting off as a kid curling in Winnipeg to all of your incredible victories and then becoming a lawyer, a mom, everything in life. I imagine that for an elite athlete, when you're in the throes of competition, looking back and focusing on the past can be a bit of a double-edged sword. But obviously for writing a memoir, it's key. So what was it like for you to go back and revisit your life and your curling career so far?
I think it was super therapeutic. I did it right after I retired, and I was a little bit sad after I retired giving up curling, so I was able to go back and relive those memories. I would ask my teammates who had better memories than me just some of the stories and the things, and it just allowed me to realize in the moment you don't think about records you set, or you don't think about the championships you won or the ups and downs and the trials and tribulations. You're just in it.
Yeah.
So it was really fun to go back and go over it and realize, wow, there was a lot there. I mean, I had a really long career, and it changed my life.
And I imagine folks look at you and, you know, see you, and because of all of your accomplishments in curling, but also in life and all the success you've had, they would look at you and they'd say, oh, confidence personified. But you write in the book how you've struggled with confidence, or you used to a little bit, and that it was your sports psychologist, Cal, you talk about him in the book, who gave you a mantra that kind of helped you cope with this. Can you tell us what that mantra is and why it worked so well for you?
Yeah, he would say, why not you? And for me, I always used to say, why me? Why would something good happen to me? I'm just Jennifer, like I'm nothing special. And he's like, but why not you? Why not any one of us? If you set your mind to do something, you can do anything. And confidence is something that I've struggled with forever. I just think I'm just Jen from Winnipeg who loved curling, and Cal gave me the ability to really think that anything was possible, to dream big, but to also just put everything you have into something, and if it doesn't happen, you'll have no regrets because you really tried to put everything into it. So I do that with my daughters. I'm like, why not you? Why can't you achieve greatness? And they go out there in their gymnastics, and I see their nerves calm, and they're doing these things that I could never do. And I just, yeah, I think it's really allowed us as a family to have a different perspective and really just try to dream big.
How does that make you feel when they channel that mantra into their own personal successes?
I'm blown away by it.
Yeah?
You know, I just look, and they don't look nervous.
Yeah.
And that's just this special quality that it's really hard to have. They're not scared to lose. They're not scared to miss or make a mistake.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that's come from watching curling, us talking about being in those big spotlight moments and just really trying to soak it all up and enjoy life. And I know as a mom, all I want is for our kids to be happy and chase their dreams, and I can see them doing it. And I really do. I think a lot of it was from watching me and my husband Brent compete.
Yeah. You mentioned the spotlight in that last answer, and in the book you also talk about your sometimes uneasy relationship with the media, and you talk about kind of getting through that as well, how your comfort zone is not being in a media scrum. I don't think it's anybody's comfort zone, but you said you struggled with that at times. How'd you get through those tougher times?
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge for me. You know, I curled because I loved to curl, and then all of a sudden you're in this scrum with all these cameras looking at you and trying to ask all these very personal questions and just all of a sudden putting your life out there. I think for me, it took a long time. You go through where you're the media darling, and then all of a sudden you might do something that's controversial, and then there's all this scrutiny, and that was very challenging for me. But then I think through that, it really allowed me to see what was important to me. And you surround yourself with people who care about you, people who lift you up, people who support you, and you become a lot more secure in who you are. And once I did that, then I was able to become a lot more vulnerable because I didn't care as much what people thought, and I kind of changed that relationship. Yeah,
it's great. I want to ask you about, you know, they say it's like the curling shot heard around the world. 2005 Tournament of Hearts. Many analysts call it the best ever shot in curling. I think we might have a bit of footage of it. I rewatched the whole thing this morning with sound and with the celebration after it. It is a remarkable shot, and you say that folks still ask you about it. Why do you think that in particular? You've had this long, august career, but why does that moment stick with folks so much?
I think it's talked about all the time. It's always on the, you know, the greatest shot to win a curling game of all time.
Yeah.
So it's in the media, but it was just a big emotional moment, and it was really what kickstarted our career. It was my first championship, and it was really the beginning of our Jennifer Jones teams, and through the years, our first win, and we celebrated in a way that hadn't been seen. Like, we were just jumping around like crazy people, and so, you know, the whole chapter in the book is dedicated to the shot, how I was feeling, what I was thinking, and because it's just such a big moment in curling history.
It's an incredible moment, and in history writ large, too. I got to wrap it up, but really quick, in the book you reference smelling the ice. I like to smell things, old comic books, drum heads. I'm a drummer. I do that as well. And you talk about in the Beijing Olympics going back to the ice with your team and smelling the ice. Why do you like to do that, and what does curling ice smell like?
I think curling for me, you know, walking in was where I felt comfortable when you're a kid. That smell when you walk in, it's like walking into an arena, just that smell of the ice. And I've always associated it with calm and joy and happiness. So it just smells like the most beautiful smell in the world to me.
Yeah, and tied to memory, right?
Yeah.
And so tied to memory.
Yeah.
Jennifer Jones, thank you for being here. Rockstar is her new memoir. It is, as of last night, a #1 bestseller as well. So big congratulations to you on that. Great to have you here.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.